the main song. Deep dive, shallow mind the same. Modern technology, modern you and me. It's just your modern world keeps pulling on my string. Exposing in their minds, reading in their heart, rules to obey, just a modern way. It's just your modern world keeps pulling on my strings. They're mindless fools, chewing on lies. They hypnotize in the minds of those who don't realize.
You can't be that more than good. This is something you gotta know. For that girl, now go on, go, go. Boy, I boy, and girl, I know. You know, you know, you know. I want that world, want the love that you've been out and out there. Where I knew it'll be alright. Just got shit that boy can't look good. Please don't find that down that is no hate. There is something I know. Boy, that down that girl, I'm good. Boy, now boy, and girl, I know. You know, you know, you know.
I think your fingers are a little cold.
Okay, do it again.
OG Bobby T! Woo, 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 woo! Let's go! I miss the land that I was born in. Fast food and the old ass store. Burger King and frozen pizza. Never like it, taking the more. I wanna sleep in
I want to commit the murder I was trying for, the reason I was hell. Why go through all the motions? I don't intend to cry more. I don't intend to sail, 'cause now I know that we are always older. We are always older. We are always older and older. Let go of adolescence. We are killing awkward phases. All the young are dead. No, returning to the pathway, the time it took to shine more, the forest overgrew. Now I know that we are always older. We are always older. We are always older and older and older and older. Now every time I'm looking another way back is the road I didn't think could ever be lost, and the patterns of the anger that I assumed were set in stone and never coming back from the grave, and the doors are ever only closing behind us, and the bridge is burning up their own accord, and the automatic motions we have to take, they are the ones we never realized could be used to break the rules. Now we have to break the rules. We've got to break the rules. Yes, we have to break the rules.
trip around the world. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, let go. Oh, babe. Let go, let go, you don't cry. There is no future in your eye. Hey, I see the world is bad. You have to get one for that in the brain. Look what you call rock and roll.
back in preschool, they didn't have a quarter to keep. The melody was sweet and I thought it was peaceful, like listening to the sound of the sea. So if you're ready to go, I'll be up and done and I'll leave by the morning. You won't recall a thing that I said. I don't think that I will be here in the morning. My palms around the back of my head. I can't find the words to tell you how it ends. I should have been the early bird, but maybe we're better off friends. Something in the way that she looks when she sees me, it tells me that she wants me to stay. So if you love me, don't. Something in the way that you whisper, I wanna hear you calling my name. I can't find the words to tell you how it ends. I should have been the early bird, but maybe we're better off friends. You put on the mask like you. Oh, I can't stand another night without the sound of you breathing softly. 'Cause when I turn out all the lights, the silence is screaming. If you want it, I'll be up at dawn and I'll leave by the morning. You won't recall a thing that I said. We'll celebrate with coffee and cold conversation, pretending that we're not different friends. Cannot find the words to tell you how it ends. I should have been the early bird. So tell me, are we better off? Tell me, are we better off? Tell me, 'cause I gotta know. Tell me, are we better off friends?
Last night I heard you talking in your sleep again. The weight you carry will break your back again. Believe me when I say it's hard for me. Hold the candle for me tonight. Heard you when you said don't leave, and I know you want to trust me, but this contact's everything. What does it mean to say? Let's just hold our hands. Voices that go on and on. This contact's everything. What does it mean to say? Heard you when you said don't leave, and I know you want to trust me, but this contact's everything. What does it mean to say? I don't ever wanna change. Wind down to inertia. Don't say it, never say it. You say it to me. Don't say it, never say it. You say it to me. Don't say it, never say it. You say it to me. Just feel my teeth and let me go. Last night I heard you again. Burn the candle for me. Hold the candle for me.
room hunting in the great outdoors. You learn to see them more and more. I said you learn to see them more and more. Go searching through the forest floor, you'll find just one, then more and more. Go searching through the forest floor, you'll find just one, then more and more. Funky fungus, funky fungus, funky fungus, funky fungus. Show some appreciation for the funk nation, appreciation for the funk nation.
Guitars, guitars, guitars. Nothing gets rid of those pandemic blues like a new vintage guitar. Come on down to Real Guitars and get yourself a real guitar. 15 Lafayette Street off Mission in San Francisco. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to
5-ish.
realguitars.com. On Instagram at Real Guitars.
Do you like vintage clothing? We like vintage clothing. You should buy vintage clothing and stuff here at Heads or Tails. Not sure what to get your friends for their birthdays? Get them some sweet-ass accessories. They have zines for you avid readers and the Bay Area's hottest music. Check out this rack of vintage clothing. Buy it! Buy it all! Buy it here at Heads or Tails Collective in Oakland.
My favorite chicken place. Every time you go, you see a familiar face. When I go, I get my fix. They got fried chicken and drumsticks.
welcome everybody. It's so good to be back here for another episode of Inner Thigh Drum Solo with assistance from the producers and everything on the side and Talking Schmidt Live at the Complex, everybody. I'm your host, DJ Schmidt here. Follow me on Instagram at Talking Schmidt Live to stay up to date with all the fun things going on. We got a great show for you this evening. This is our second to last program of the year. We got a little holiday extravaganza in December, which we'll get to that later. But tonight I'm very excited for our guest to take the stage and show you what they got. But until then, as always, we got the hashtag of the show. We were actually, I'll come clean. We were just coming clean about this. I saw this video. They said hashtags are basically dead at this point. They don't really do anything. But for me, I think there's a very nice essence. So just seeing a couple of hashtags very well placed on a post, I think it really adds some ambiance and some texture to it. So we're still continuing the hashtag of the show. So don't be afraid to hit us with your hashtags. This week, we got an option. You can choose between two. We have one brought into us from the studio, which is Talk Schmitty to Me, which that's always a good one, with the number 2, by the way, or hashtag Dark Schmidtalite. You can figure out how to spell that one, because it took me 3 times and about 4 of these cue cards to spell it correctly in ink. So, but those are the official hashtags of the show. So feel free, if you guys are on social media, hit us with those hashtags as you always do. Thank you to everyone in the chat who's already been having some fun. I know we got the host, the incorrigible Steve Ward Moore, in the chat hanging out for the show. The host of What's Poppin', everybody. That's right. That's Steve Ward Moore. And a whole lot more. So if you guys feel free, please hit us up on the chat. We'll say some nice things about you. But let's get to it. Starting off, I want to thank our previous guest, The Furious Tits. That was a fucking awesome show. It was really special. Make sure you follow them at The Furious Tits on Instagram and all social media. And shout out to my brother, Nick, who happened to be in town. He literally flew into San Francisco that afternoon, took a train out here. He wasn't going cross country, but he took the train out here and hung out for the studio, and I surprised him and had him on air. There's a clip on my page where for those of you who want to see what my brother is, because a lot of people, when I tell them I have siblings, they're like, what do they look like? I'm like, well, I'm not going to describe my brother to you. He's my brother. He looks like my brother. So if you want to see him, check him out on my Instagram page. You guys know what to do. Real quick, also, there's been some fun announcements happening at Ozcat Radio. Someone who I became an Instagram friend with about a year or so ago, I think they were through Burnell Heights Radio right out here in the city, the one and only KBZ Fashizi. He has a new show Wednesdays on Ozcat Radio, 89.5 FM from midnight to 2, called Fat Gold Chain Radio. I think it's a continuation of the other program he had going on out here in the city, but I'm really excited to hear him on the roster for Ozcat. So make sure you give him a follow at K_BZ, BEEZY_FA_Sheezy. You know where it's at. This right here. He's got a bunch of cool stickers right now. Shout out to the one and only Fat Gold Chain Radio. And real quick, while I got you here, we got Accidents at Sundown, previous alumni to the Talking Schmidt Live Arsenal. Shout out to them. They have a new single, Fireside, that just was released this week. Incredible music from an incredible group of young, talented artists. So make sure you go listen to them, go follow them, look them up on social media at Accidents at Sundown. All right, let's get to a little bit of business. As always here, through the fine people at the Complex and us at Talking Schmidt and Ozcat Radio, we promote all sorts of local shows going on across the Bay Area. So we got some fancy picks for you this week right here in my phone. Starting off with the first Schmitty show pick is going to be happening tomorrow night, November 30th, right here in San Francisco. The Regency Ballroom is hosting the one and only, the legendary Brian Jonestown Massacre with Federale. It's going to be an awesome show. I think tickets are like $60 or something like that with fees and everything, but it's going to be an incredible time. I'm going to be there, so make sure you come say hello to me if you see me, or don't. Just enjoy the show too. That's fine. But it's going to be doors at 7 p.m. with an 8 p.m. showtime for the Brian Jonestown Massacre. Check it out. And then this Friday, November 21st, right here in San Francisco again, we got Slow Coast, dear friends of ours here at the Complex, the Helltones, and Adam Spry taking over Kilowatt right here in SF. It is 21 and up, $14 at the door, and it is a 7 p.m. showtime. So get there early this Friday and have a killer time at one of the best local venues in San Francisco, Kilowatt. Now, Saturday, November 22nd, we're going to be at the Makeout Room right here in the heart of SF for the one and only Tectonics and Balzac show, which that's the best billing I've ever heard of. It's going to be 21 and up only, $15, and everything kicks off at 6:30 p.m. that Saturday. And then Sunday, November 23rd, at Bottom of the Hill, this is a show that I've just decided, hey, take a chance on. I'm trying to find a random just lineup that I've never heard of any of the bands before, but they just piqued my interest. And this lineup sounded pretty amazing. For Bottom of the Hill on Sunday, November 23rd, Doghouse, Meat Cube, and Luluvel. I like the Luluvel throw at the end there. It's going to be $13 in advance or $15 at the door. And everything's kicking off at 7:30 with a show at 8 p.m. I think that's going to do it for the first chunk. We'll get some shows with you after this next segment coming up. But let's get to it, everybody. As you know, I do a little write-up here, a little fanciness for the fine folks that come through the studio. I know it takes a lot of time and effort, not just to be a band, but to be able to do fun stuff like this and come into our humble abode of a studio. So this is for you. Starting off with viewers, I have quite the difficult task on my agenda for this evening. And as you know, I like to do a special intro speech for everyone who comes through the show. And it's something that I learned from the great John Waters, being side stage for so many years at the Mosswood Meltdown events and seeing the impact of his words. And not only the artists that adore him, only adding to their performance overall, but for those in the audience as well, watching the hype on their faces build up with an intensity that would make Oppenheimer blush, everybody. I'm telling you, he does not miss. Your words travel further than you think, and when given the opportunity to have a platform to preach, it's important to make sure you get the job done correctly. That being said, I bring to you back my dilemma for this evening. How do you describe a band that is uniquely crushing what defines a rock and roll band, all while still retaining the essence of the music that they love and grew up listening to? To be honest, tonight's act is how I always envision my dream rock and roll band, between you and I. 3 band members, instruments in hand, up against the world. All of my favorite rock bands are 3-piece ensembles like Jimi Hendrix Experience, ZZ Top, Cream, Rory Gallagher, just to name a few. And with the release of their latest album that dropped in August of this year, Splitting Image, go check it out, which features maybe a perfect rock and roll album opener by the name of Blood on the Page and intricate layers of sound and texture throughout tracks like Wish Granter and Lost in the Tear. It's apparent that this band has put in the work to refine their skill sets and are not to be taken lightly. With the release of the new album and the performance that you are about to experience here tonight, I think it is a safe bet to say that we can add one more name to Schmidt's list of favorite 3-piece rock bands. Not only does this band absolutely fucking rip, but they are some of the most highly spoken of musicians in the entire Bay Area music scene among their peers and beyond. That is a true fact. So you be kind to them or else, or I'll come and find you. I will. I mean it. They have upcoming shows at the Knockout in SF on December 13th and Cafe Colonial in Sacramento on the 12th of December. So make sure you go see them in the flesh and buy some merch from these boys before the end of the year. But enough yapping. Let's get to the toe tapping. Everybody, I give to you your featured guest for tonight on Talking Schmidt live at the Complex, the one and only Dark Satellite.
So maybe the bells I heard were you. Light still flickers, but the feeling's gone. Spirit lingers in the room. Who's left to haunt? What's left to take? Finding it hard to stay awake. Guess I've never had the alone. Read the lines so many times, traced in the stone. From the crowds invisible, she fades away. Only a silhouette remains when I'm away. Stop the car, turn off the lights. She brings me comfort in the dark. Come this far in my disguise. She brings no more tears to my eyes. Release me, let the mask slip up. Accidentally scratch the writing up. Stowed away, hiding from your sky. Until today, burning out like stars. Only a silhouette remains. Night turns to day. Only the memory will stay when I'm away. Oh no, just let me sleep a little more.
Hello, we are Dark Satellite. Thank you. Thank you, everyone tuning in right
Maybe we're fiction, maybe we told the page, maybe we're sold alive from another age. Someday we'll find a truth beyond the wheel, or be pulled along by the currents beneath our keel. At last, there's a running from the time. So fast, did I even say goodbye? The last in the race faded away, but the memory haunts me till this day. The depth of my solitude dropped out what I never understood. We're cut from the page like paper trees, but the memory haunts me till this day. just couldn't let you go. Never too far from my mind, presence of your soul. What if I told you no, just couldn't let you go. Never too far from my mind, the presence of your soul. Crying out paper tears while the forest burns away. Paper trees in the ash, forgotten.
All right, this one's called Blood on the Page. Protected just the same, consequence in action. No one takes the blame and nothing's changed. Maybe that's the way I'll die. Shine is wearing off, equal in reaction, protected just the same, consequence in action. No one takes the blame and nothing's changed. Maybe that's the way I'll die. Thank you.
Dark Satellite, everybody,
Hi.
live On Talking Schmidt live at the Complex. Absolutely incredible shit right here, everybody. This is some just top dollar rock and roll for your best bang for your buck you're going to get. I'm telling you. This is absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys don't mind, take a second, introduce yourselves to the fine folks at home. Who are we watching here tonight? Take your time. Take a breather. I know you guys just got done rocking the hell out.
My name is Charlie. My name is Charlie Hanlon.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Well, this is Travis Drum on drums.
What up, buddy?
And, I'm Trevor Gabriel.
And thank you very much. I think this is one of the few rare instances where this is one of the bands that started off as an Ozcat interview. I interviewed Charlie. Was that almost a year ago now? That was a while ago, I feel like. Yeah, that's so long ago, it feels like. But you came through Ozcat Radio out in Vallejo, and that's how we got connected. And true to what I was saying in my intro speech, it was everyone speaks so highly of your guys' band. And I'm, being a jaded musician, I'm like, I'm sure they're really nice guys, but are they that good at musicians? And then after hearing everything you guys have released, I'm like, I'm going to shut my mouth because these boys rip. But I'm very happy to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that last song, which I believe is the opening track off your latest album that just came out in August?
Yes. It was mid-August when the image came out. Blood on the Page, I think it was the last song we made for that album.
Really?
And it felt fitting to open the album with that.
Absolutely. This is like your version of Paranoid by Black Sabbath. You're like, we got to fill the rest of this album, and then next thing you know, it's an instant classic.
Yes. But yeah, it just kind of came together like all our other songs. We had these riffs that just kind of seemed to fuse with other riffs, and we felt attached to it, and we just rolled with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's a great song, and I love that that's the opener for the album, too, is like the very last song. You're like, you know what? This song hits too hard. Let's just go out swinging. I think that's a good representation because it's the most up-to-date version of what you guys are capable of writing, so to speak. You're like, this is the most modern version of us. Let's hit them with the new album with that as the intro. And I'm telling you, I've said this before about you guys. Everything I've heard from you recording-wise, I listened to it. I'm like, this easily could be played on like the top 40 rock radio stations. And like, not like a demeaning, like it's pop rock or anything. It's just good music. And I have a lot of respect. So I'm very happy to have you fine folks in the studio tonight with us. That being said, I'm going to shut my big mouth and get my ugly mug off screen because we got some more music from Dark Satellite. Hit them up on Instagram, I believe, at Dark Satellite Band.
Yes.
That's it.
That's us, Dark Satellite Band.
Give them a follow. All right, everybody, let's go back to Dark Satellite live on Talking Schmidt live at the Complex.
Someone told me they knew more. Didn't know you were keeping score. No more time to complain. Who am I to count the rain? But first I know
self-will, but it's too much to bear under the snow. And if I were there, wouldn't let you go to the other side. I can't cross over on my own in the coldest night. Feel my blood begin to boil. Need a sacrifice. With your bleeding heart to mend. Still I'm trapped under ice. I'll join the others in the end. The most I know, the further I will follow until I see every step I've given me. Too much at stake. Lost my pride, but still I fall. And if I break, read me the writing on the wall.
This song is called Chaos in You. But I've recognized the storyline. Covering your track, running this campaign, never turning back. Far cry from an ancient strain. Over so much time, wait for your turn. Shadows on the line, watch the future first show. So they say that there's no way out when you put yourself in, and no relief when you're hanging on to what you would not existed. It haunts me still. Again, we are Dark Satellite. This one we got coming up next is called Double Cut.
When you let the oceans to rise, can't look out beyond the vision. If it's all a game, why do we need to try to not look back in anger? Were you waiting for a new tomorrow? In time I'll be a stranger. Across the fever dream, playing make-believe with your authority, which justified for the author of the story. Game was rigged right from the start. Totally a fool would play a part. Oh
Bring it back to you, Schmidt.
Alrighty, everybody. That is just a little taste of Dark Satellite. Fear not, though, there is more music from them coming up in just a little bit. But until then, we're going to take a quick government-mandated commercial break here. Take a commercial break here, and we shall be right back with more Dark Satellite on the couch. Dark Satellite couch form, we'll say. All right, everybody. We'll see you in just a little bit. Stick around. Talking Schmidt live at the Complex.
Please don't discover my depression drawer, where the waste of my life goes to stink like a sore. Old stained shirts I can't fit on the floor get thrown right into the depression drawer. I used to clean up every now and again. Now I'm dirty and waiting for the world to end. I don't invite people over anymore. They might discover my depression drawer. I said please don't discover my depression drawer, where the waste of my life goes to stink like a sore. Old stained shirts I can't fit on the floor get thrown right into the depression drawer. I ain't changed much since the day I was born. Still cry for help from dusk to dawn.
childhood drawings from the years before. I go right into the depression drawer. I said, please don't discover my depression drawer, where the waste of my life goes to stink like a sore. Old stained shirts I can't fit on the floor get thrown right into the depression drawer. Lately these days I stink like a bird, writhing in black, you know I don't say a word. Whatever it was that I was before went right into the depression drawer. I said, please don't discover my depression drawer, where the waste of my life goes to stink like a sore. Old stained shirts I can't fit on the floor get thrown right into the depression drawer. Well, every so often there's a sun in the sky, and an angel comes down just to guide me towards light. I say, hey sir, have I seen you before? And dip back into the depression drawer. I said, please don't discover my depression drawer, where the waste of my life goes to stink like a sore. Old stained shirts I can't fit on the floor get thrown right into the depression drawer.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Complex here in beautiful downtown San Francisco. I am your pal, Steve Ward Moore, and this is What's Poppin', the Bay Area's arts and entertainment talk show. Each episode features hilarious and insightful interviews with local Bay Area celebrities. Also, the people behind the scenes of the coolest venues and events happening in the Bay Area. We have a brand new house band that comes in to perform live for us right here and for you at home on your devices. Join us every other Monday, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf. Be a part of the revolution, be a part of the family, and you never know who's gonna stop by the studio over here.
If you love music and you love friends, you will love BFF.FM, where the DJs are nice and the songs are good, and it's right in your neighborhood. So if you love music and you love friends, listen to BFF.FM.
Soundwaves, the long-running Bay Area music brand, is partnered with the Complex Recording Studio in San Francisco to showcase weekly live performances shot at the Complex SF and to further shine a light on the wild, wonderful Bay Area music scene. Watch full episodes at soundwavestv.com or at 1077thebone.com. Find out more about the Complex at thecomplex-sf.com.
Do you like vintage clothing? We like vintage clothing. You should buy vintage clothing and stuff here at Heads or Tails. Not sure what to get your friends for their birthdays? Get them some sweet-ass accessories. They have zines for you avid readers and the Bay Area's hottest music. Check out this rack of vintage clothing. Buy it! Buy it all! Buy it here at Heads or Tails Collective in Oakland.
today by your peers. What's it like having that kind of unanimous support from your peers? Like, does it uplift you, inspire you? Is it like intimidating, or is it something that you're not even really aware even exists in the world, you know?
I don't think I knew it existed, but no, at first.
Yeah, you did.
It takes a little bit to get used to something like that for sure. There's an adjustment phase, so I'll give you that.
Whatever got us to this point, that's just my mindset. That's where I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to become this type of band where it's like, oh, people love us. We can just kind of slack off and, we can make
100%.
Like, we don't have to try that hard for the song. And like, all the energy we put up to get to this level, that's where we're trying to stay mentally.
No, and I think that's solid. It's like, just keep yourself nice and grounded and be like, I don't need to let this influence me. Like, appreciate it and acknowledge it. Like, that's a big thing. As in a band that I was in like local small big fish, small pond, or small fish, whatever the phrase is, had the admiration from like my peers and stuff. And we were always just like, guys, no, we are just 4 assholes from Martinez, like making noise. But after a while, people would start kind of getting offended if you don't just roll with it. So young bands out there, if you get praise, accept it, but just keep it fucking humble, okay? Don't let it get outside the box a little bit there.
Hey, love it, but don't,
Exactly. Love it, but don't live off of it is a good mentality. I think we'll stick with that verbiage. So how did this band known as Dark Satellite come to form? What was the origin story behind y'all putting this band together?
Oh boy. Well, so I started this band when I was 16 with my childhood friends, and over time people kind of drop off, and I linked up with a new crew of people, and I ended up recording at Trevor's house for Cactus House Recording, and I recorded there for about a year or so, and I mentioned to him, like, I'm looking for a vocalist, and he tried out, and he got the job.
It seemed to make sense, it sounds like. The rest is rock and roll history, so to speak.
And then our old drummer, something happened with him, and then Trevor was like, dude, I know this guy named Travis Drum.
Real quick, is that your legal last name, Travis Drum?
My legal last
man, I love the world. Continue.
2 M's, though. 2 M's.
Twice as good.
Yeah, and then we met him, and it's, it felt like I was in a band with these guys for a very long time. It just kind of clicked.
Yeah, there's like that unison that comes with a good band where you don't really have to like think as much, and you're like,
yeah,
there isn't a whole lot of discussioning of like, or just make decision making of like, what do we want to do? You just kind of get in the room, and you're like, oh, we already just follow the music, and we all get along, which is a perfect setting for a band like that. So.
I've gotten more done in 3 months with these guys than I have in years with other people, other musicians.
No, and it takes a long time to even continue doing that, and continue through the changes and band member changes, like that can be discouraging. But when you have an idea and a vision as strongly as obviously you have since you were at a younger age, just patience, I think, is another good virtue for these younger bands or anyone in the music industry. Is be patient, and just, if it's something you love to do, keep doing it, because it's not going to be a chore if it's something you really love. And if it is a chore, maybe let the chore be the good thing you learn from. Like you said, you don't want life to be all like rainbow kisses and butterfly farts and all that. You want a little hardship to give you some reality a little bit.
Hey, that's a good band name.
Right? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the list then. We'll save that one for later. Also, what other band names did you consider before officially landing on Dark Satellite? Sounds like you've been doing this for a while, so I'm sure there was some alternate maybe monikers, but like when you were thinking before landing on Dark Satellite, what were the few names you were throwing around, if any?
The only one I remember is when I was 14, and I haven't told anyone this. It was a group of people I went to high school with, Invasive Gray.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I like an Invasive
Gray. If anyone
Gray.
needs a band name, you can have that.
Yeah, before I was in a band called The Cruelty for a while, and before that we were trying to figure out between The Cruelty or Mono Black. I always like having like a dark, heavy color like that in the name. I feel like just really added to that. So I like your gray inspiration. 50 shades of it, or at least one shade of it for this one. So that being said, let's talk about your music. You guys just released an album back in August. Congratulations! I believe this is your second full-length LP, right?
Yes.
Okay, I had to make sure, because I think, let me double check the notes. I hope that's correct.
I'm visually looking like, oh, what's on the Bandcamp? Yes.
There you go. Well, we're at the second one right now, Splitting Image, and as we already talked about a little bit in the intro, it's absolute rock and roll like masterclass. It is unique, original, while still being hard-hitting and just hitting so many like just rhythmic impulses and just like satisfactory like nerves in my body every time I hear you guys' music, especially on that opening track. I mean, it just rips off perfectly. How long have you been writing for that project in particular, or has this kind of just been an amalgamation of the band overall to this point? Or was there like a specific, like, we're going to sit down and write music for this album in particular?
Yeah, there was a moment, and it was at, my house in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And we were just practicing there one weekend. He had a bunch of riffs, and then that's kind of how the album got started. And
I had riffs I made on tour.
Oh, okay.
When we went on tour for our Death of a Classic EP, you know, there's downtime. Sometimes shows get canceled.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just in a hotel room, just strumming along.
Yeah, and we had different ideas. I had like different drum beats. I'm like, oh, this will kind of fit some of what you're doing. And then Trevor had some ideas too. And then it just all kind of it all went together, you know?
Exactly. And I'm sure it also helps having someone in the recording field as well in your band to help really see those ideas through, and also being someone involved with the band so they're attached to it on an even more personal level than just like a producer-artist relationship like that. Having access to that kind of recording equipment, do you think that is constantly building your guys' sound overall? Has that been beneficial, having that kind of just whenever we need to record something, we have someone in the bag that we can reach out to, as opposed to being an artist trying to scurry around and find a producer? Like, Definitely. Yeah. I feel like kind of a no-brainer question, but
he's really good too.
Oh, thank you.
No, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your, it's Cactus House Recording?
Cactus House Recording, yeah, in New Almaden, which is south of San Jose. And it was cool. While we were working on this album, I ended up linking up with Vanguard Audio Labs and setting up a deal with them. And so they really helped me build out my mic locker. So all the vocals on the album is through their tube mic.
Okay.
And the drums, the overheads, which we used a lot of and placed it pretty far away, so they kind of functioned as room mics as well. That's their stereo FET mic. And then right at the end, I got a nice small diaphragm condenser from them, and I used it on just one quick overdub with my mandolin on Entombed. But it was a good overdub.
No, absolutely. And if you got the access to that kind of equipment, you're like, I'm gonna nail this fucking overdub, guys. Give me 10 minutes, and I got it. And it sounds like it was overall beneficial for the record. So that's a cool collaboration. And I mean, obviously, if people are interested in recording with you, they can do so. If I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah.
How do they reach out to you and do that?
Oh, well, they can reach out on Instagram or go to our website, and we do all our booking on the website. So you can hit book now, and the calendar shows up, and you can just select the day and time you want, and pay for the time too.
Awesome.
Super easy.
Super convenient. Modern problems require modern solutions.
Exactly.
And Cactus House Recordings got you covered. A little bit more about the album. What would be maybe one of the most difficult aspects that you guys face when recording this album? Was there any particular song or just maybe a day in particular that you remember, I don't know if this is going to work, I don't know what we're doing here, and kind of work through? Like, what were some of the challenges you faced recording the record?
Well, I've got one.
Oh, there's a lot.
I mean, where do we start?
I'll stay out of this one.
Well, like instances where I'm doing probably like, 5 to 7 takes on one, but then I end up just like keeping the first one.
Yeah.
Or like the second one.
It was 9 takes actually. It wasn't 5 to 7.
He remembers the song. There's a memory attached to that.
And then I kept literally the first one.
But that's fair. Sometimes you got to follow the idea through, and you're like, yeah, no, I think, let's do one more for posterity, and then next thing you know, you kind of get a little carried away. That's all right.
It was weird listening back because I was like, didn't listen to anything else after the first one. I was like, oh, this one sounds good.
Yeah, you're like, perfect.
Trying to get them done. I'm like, oh, why not?
Well, like you said, at least you got the back catalog, so that's good. But otherwise, I feel like if just like time and repetition is the issue that you're facing recording this album, that's a pretty good place to be in, because it shows your dedication, obviously, and it's just going to, in the long run, make for a better project and a better end result for the music. So, actually, speaking of music and local music, this is going to bring us to our next segment, where we have a fun little treat for our guests here this evening. As some of you know, if some of you have seen the previous episodes of this program, Talking Schmidt Live at the Complex, we have a segment called Dave Has a Question. Now, Dave Hughes is a local DJ out of the East Bay, the Beat of Diablo. Make sure you check out Dave at Beat of the Beat of Diablo, I believe, on Instagram. He's got a little question for you, fine folks. If you're all ready for it, y'all ready to meet Dave?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh
we know
yes.
Dave.
We're ready for Dave. Dave, take it away.
Hey guys, Dave here from the Beat of Diablo. I've always kind of had a little bit of a pipe dream or fantasy of one day releasing a compilation of underground music from the Bay Area of active independent bands covering one another's original music. So my question to Dark Satellite: whom in the Bay Area's underground music scene do you see yourself perhaps taking a stab at covering one of their original songs? Follow-up question: who would you like to see cover a Dark Satellite song?
That is a damn fine question.
First of
That
all,
gave me chills. Dave, round of applause for Dave real quick. Everybody.
Thank
He's
you,
the
Dave.
man. We love you, Dave.
That was a nice cat, too.
That was a beautiful cat. It's a very cat-friendly day, but we won't get into that.
Great camera angle.
Absolutely. He knows how to capture the good side of both him and that cat.
That's a great... Okay.
My man was leisurely enjoying himself. I love it. But if you were to take a stab at covering a local Bay Area musician's song, who do you think you would be able to cover or you would like to try covering? And then the follow-up, who would you like to see cover one of your guys' songs?
Well, the first band I thought of covering our song is a band called Fancy Dad.
Fancy Dad?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think
incredible drummer.
Okay.
Band. So I feel like they would do a great job, and they would probably put their own spin on it too.
Do you have an idea what song you think they would in particular crush, or is it just like their overall essence you feel like could kind of keep up with what you're putting down?
I don't know a specific song though.
I feel like they would.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, I would let them choose.
Fair enough. Exactly. I don't want to force anything on the artist.
Hunter's Moon.
One that we aren't playing tonight, but it is on the album.
Yeah,
there you go.
The album, but it is a hard song.
We do play in 432, by the way, so the secret's out.
Take notes, everybody.
I wanted to clear that up. We play in 432, so tune to that. As far as us covering a song, I don't know. What do you think?
Kuva Bimo comes to mind. I think they were on this show recently.
Yeah, they were just back on in July.
Yeah. I've been working on their full-length album and really like the direction that they're going. I think that would be pretty cool.
I might need a looper pedal to cover their song. I could do it, though.
I'd like to do something it would be totally weird, though. Like us trying to do Loser Soup would be really hard.
Oh, Loser Soup would be
hard.
Yeah.
I think you guys could pull it off.
do it.
Yeah,
It would just
absolutely.
I don't know.
That's a tough question, Dave.
Yeah, how dare you put these boys on the spot? They've been through enough. They're
Hey,
already sitting through my nonsense. Now we got it. No.
I'll send you. I'll send you a video later, Dave.
There you go. Exactly. Keep an eye on their Instagram. There's going to be something coming big from these guys. I'm telling you. That's a great question, Dave. We love you. Thank you for taking part on that. And again, please follow him at The Beat of Diablo on Instagram. Let's cut to another segment here because we got just so many damn segments here on this show. It's a beautiful thing. I was going to come with a joke, didn't have it. Never mind. So we're going to do This Day in Music History, where we talk a little bit about this specific date in the musical world. So we're going to go all the way back to November 19th, 1998. And we're going to be talking about the one and only Motley Crue. Motley Crue opened a new retail store, I kid you not, named S''CRUE, Screw, at 7201 Melrose Avenue in LA. The store stocked merchandise from the band's worldwide tours, clothing from both the clothing lines from bassist Nikki Sixx and Vince Neil, which I didn't know there was Nikki Sixx and Vince Neil clothing. That's going to be a Google later on for me. Mm-hmm. And all Motley Crue albums are in the store as well. My question to you is, what defines being a sellout in the music industry / community in 2025? Or is there even such a thing anymore as being a sellout today?
I think being a sellout today is just being a jerk to your community. You know, it's like if you're gonna say you're gonna be part of a community and support people, actually do it. Yeah, that's all I can really think of.
No, 100%.
I don't think money is really an issue if you stay true to who you are and keep on going.
Don't be fake, I guess.
Yeah, don't be fake. You know?
No, 100%. Just honesty, as long as you're still being a sincere human being and not just, selling for money or whatever kind of thing. I mean, like you said, there's no shame in getting paid, and lots of people have good deals where they can get lots of money off of it, but don't let it change the essence of why you started making art, which is to share with people and express yourself in an honest way that's relatable. And if you're a millionaire who's a prick, that's a pretty small window of relatability for most people on this world.
You could be a genuine, authentic millionaire.
Yeah.
You could. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you go around telling people that you're supportive, you better actually be supportive, not just put up this front. So if you just put up an act, then I think you just kind of sold out.
Yeah.
So.
No, 100%. Be true to your essence, everybody. And I mean, that's the biggest thing about what we do here at the Complex and my little small radio station show is just being there for the community as much as possible, trying to share, even if it's something as simple as sharing a post or sharing someone's flyer or giving it a plug on this show, like whatever we can do to help stimulate the local music scene, which in my opinion can help stimulate the local economy and help make things a lot better for a lot more people if the arts are funded. But, that's all maybe a different conversation for a different time. But everybody, Dark Satellite, we still got him on the couch here. It is at Dark Satellite Band on social media if you want to follow them. And real quick, while I got your attention, if you guys are interested and you like what you see here, make sure you follow us on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf. Or if you would like to subscribe, it is $6 a month, and it goes a long ways. We got a whole refrigerator and curio cabinet of snacks we provide for the bands, all sorts of fun stuff that we try to keep at a minimum cost here. So your donations go a long way. If you're interested, please subscribe or maybe give a gift. It's the holiday season, everybody. You could gift subscriptions on Twitch, all sorts of fun stuff going on. But that is my That Day in Music History. And going back to kind of a little piggyback almost off of Dave's previous question, what are some of your favorite Bay Area bands? And what are bands that people should be basically on the lookout for right now in the Bay Area scene? Like who's hot right now on the streets, guys?
You said two of them, right?
Yeah, we got Kuva Bimo
and Loser Soup.
Loser Soup, yes.
Yeah, Fancy that Monarchy of Roses. These are our homies.
Yes, we are in some talks of maybe getting them on the show next season.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, those guys are wild.
Wild, really? Explain wild too, because I've never seen their show. It's just been social media fronts for right now, like talking.
They're, we filmed a music video about a year ago, and we had a lot of, I'm not trying to call anyone out, but we had a lot of close friends just flake on us the day of. And that whole band, they showed up, they brought people, they were the ones that carried me in the music video.
Literally lifting.
Yeah. So the first time I ever stage dived, I saw them and I was like, you know what? I could do this. They could.
Hey, that's trust right there.
Yeah.
Like I see these people, I trust my body with them. Like I will.
Yeah, they have a good mindset, and I think they're gonna go places if they just keep on going.
Yeah, it goes back to what you're saying, just being honest and being decent people at the end of the day. And,
they're super nice.
Yeah, and then the fact that they're talented musicians as well. Everything I've heard from them has been absolutely just a banger.
They're nice and they take no shit, which is a good combination.
No, especially in this day and age, like you said, when there's the fakeness going on of like pretend kindness or pretend support, I think it's important to be like, where the fuck were you? You're like, what the hell? You said you were coming to the show and you didn't. Like, if that's the case, just don't say you're coming to the show. Like, keeping people honest like that is important in the scene because
they rocked out too in the video. They all had like headaches after.
I know a couple of them like threw their
whole time. I was like, dang, you guys put in more work than we.
Yeah, so pretty much,
you guys really sold this thing.
If you showed up and you were in our music video, we are forever grateful for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love
Okay,
you guys.
But back to the topic. Bands.
Well, Adam and the Breaknecks.
Adam and the Breaknecks are rad. They put on a hell of a show too.
Where are they based out of? Are they based out of Oakland or SF or
Vacaville?
Oh, Vacaville. Okay.
Fairfield.
Little.
They're always in Sacramento too, though.
Yeah, we got friends in Sacramento. Adalemon, they're cool.
Yeah.
Treasure, Rose Haze, Blood Sugar, and Chico.
Oh yeah, Blood Sugar's great.
Yeah,
I'm my old neck of the woods.
Doing good.
Oh, Supernaut, Santa Cruz.
Oh, dude.
Supernaut.
We,
there
we
you
just
go.
played with them. Yeah, that was cool.
They got motorcycles. They're cool.
Yeah.
That's
They look way cooler than us at the show.
Yeah, that is a
Don't
funny.
tell everyone that.
They had motorcycles.
No need to say it out loud.
Hey, they just looked.
I know. Give them their due.
They
respect
did.
for sure. You're like they did. What can I say?
I mean, when they come up in motorcycles, we're like, "Hey guys," they just, I don't know, look
Exactly.
cool.
Like, well, I'm going to go and put my kombucha down.
They did. I asked to sit
I had
on
a
their bike,
gummy
and they
issue.
just laughed at me. And I was like,
You could sit on the handlebars.
I
Like,
wasn't
I don't
kidding.
want. I don't want to do that either. That's great though. Yeah, Monarch of Roses. We got to get you guys on the show here soon. And now, a fun little side question is: every time I go on Instagram, I see you guys' page pop up a lot. You guys are very active on social media, which is good. And when I peruse this Instagram, I always see these amazing vintage guitars come across my story pages, and I'm just sitting there with my mouth open, drooling all over my damn phone. So why don't you explain to us a little bit why you are giving these people such a tease with these beautiful instruments? What is the association with these vintage instruments and Dark Satellite?
well, okay. So not all those guitars are mine.
Fair enough.
I work at a vintage guitar shop in Emeryville for Jay Rosen. Great dude, legendary East Bay guy. But when I started Dark Satellite, I also started rebuilding guitars when I was a kid.
Oh, nice.
So I felt like the better I got in a band, the better I got at building guitars.
I can see the correlation, yeah. One follows the other, basically.
Yeah, and it just kind of became this thing. I started at the same time, but then I would buy and resell guitars. So every aspect of my life is really connected to guitars. And then I get to see all my dream guitars at this job, so I just figured I might as well take pictures.
Yeah, 100%. And you get to lay hands on them and everything. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I think that's important, though, touching back on something you said is like, if it's you've purposely focused this lane of like playing music and guitar into your life in such a way that you basically have like no other choice, but you're like, I've carved my path out. I've made the decision that I love music so much. I want this to be a part of everything I do, which I have a relatable feeling with both my line of work and doing this show, playing music, doing the radio show. Like I've been very fortunate to be able to focus hard enough to make every outlet I do focused around the genre that I love, which is music and playing guitars. And I feel like there's a very similar quality of that with what you have going on with your instrumentation repairs. What would you say is the most interesting guitar maybe you haven't worked on, but that came through your shop?
But I know one I like, though.
Oh, we could all go down the list if you want.
He does have a lot of guitars.
Hey, but half of them are for sale.
But we have a new music video coming out for Blood on the Page. He uses it in that. What is it again? It's a Fender, but...
Yeah, it's called a Fender Swinger.
Ooh, I've never heard of a
weird,
Swinger.
Like duo-sonic Mustang-looking thing.
Okay.
It looks really cool, too.
And I have a couple like 60s melody makers that I've used. But sometimes in a music video, a guitar will be completely broken, and I'm rocking on it, like playing.
None the wiser. Like, this just looks really cool, even though there's no pickups in it. But I don't want to notice that. Like,
yeah, but I like modified guitars. Almost all my guitars are modified, and I don't know. It's fun to work on them.
I think that's great, and it just helps keep you tinkering. Like you said, just keeps your finger on the pulse of music. Now, what's your favorite guitar that you own?
I gotta say, it's a white Fender Strat my mom bought me when I was 13.
Oh, absolutely.
Every Dark Satellite song was pretty much written on that guitar, even to this day. So
absolutely, and you can't go wrong with a Strat. They're the workhorse in my opinion.
But my Gibson Lucille I'm playing tonight, that shit rules.
I mean, that thing's amazing. I had to pick my jaw up when I saw that. And I was like, is this motherfucker playing a Lucille right now?
Yeah, a lot of like hardcore old Gibson blues guys, they're like, oh, you're playing that too heavy, you're playing too loud. I was just like, shut up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's why you're not playing it and I am.
Yeah, that was one of my dream guitars, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play the hell out of it, screw it, listen to it.
No, absolutely. That's definitely one on the list. I mean, for me, I still need to get a Firebird. That's my dream guitar. I've gotten a lot of fancy ones. I love playing with my Fenders, but I need a Gibson and I want a Firebird. But they're too damn expensive. One of these days.
Hey, I'll find you one.
Keep your finger on the pulse for me. If you got a good lead, let me know, brother. Now, let's say if you guys had to pick. Actually, I do have a fun quote from somebody in the chat this evening, and it's kind of referring to the last question I have for you fine folks here, or maybe second to last. They were describing your band. They said it's kind of like Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, and Fugazi all trying to make a really loud baby. And that is from JC50 Trey in the chat. So thank you. Shout out to that.
Hey, do we know him?
Yeah, JC50 Trey.
Wow, we got some Soundgarden?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first time we got Soundgarden.
I think that's
Fugazi we get a lot.
Fugazi, I can hear that makes sense. But yeah, the Soundgarden, especially with just like the overall just impact and like the initial hit from your guys' songs and tonally, I definitely hear a little bit of that heaviness. But instead of letting these people tell you what you sound like, who would you say were some of your big influences? Maybe for this latest album you released, or just for the band overall? Like, who are some of the musicians that inspire you to continue playing?
Man, we're all different too.
Yeah, we're all.
That's a great band right there.
I think that's why it works together.
100%.
But then we like similar things as well. I mean, I love jazz, so I do a lot of jazz. Like, I love jazz drumming. So there's a lot of jazz people, but like Refused. There you go. That's more like heavy stuff that more like Fugazi-ish type stuff.
Yeah, so a little more hard hitting and more ripper as opposed to which jazzing is still is for sure.
Refused, I was trying a little on this album to I want it to be a little like that.
I want to bring a little bit of that edge to it. So all right, that's not a bad. I think that's a fair answer. Anyone else who want to take a crack at their inspirations?
Me, I even to this day I listen to a lot of like 50s music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I grew up listening to like early Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, Billie Holiday. And then at the same time, I'm listening to Bad Brains and like hardcore punk, thrash metal, power violence, grindcore.
Speaking of hardcore power violence, shout out to Throat Rip, two-piece band out of Martinez. I have my hat somewhere up there.
Dude, they're sick. I looked them up after I saw your hat.
I've known the drummer Richie for probably 20 years now. He was my brother's neighborhood friend in like 5th grade. He lived up the street from us. So I've known him since he was just this little tiny quiet kid. And now he's just the loudest motherfucker alive when given an instrument and a mic. Like I absolutely love them. For a two-piece, they rip so hard. So shout out to Throat Rip. Go fucking check them out.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. What about you, Trevor?
Oh, Well, I mean, I grew up loving like the classic rock stuff. I actually went to school for classical guitar, though.
Oh, where was that at?
CalArts.
Okay, nice.
It was like a multi-focus program, so did a little bit of that, and I also got into some jazz there too. I mean, people who inspire me, like Zappa comes to mind. Right now, I've been really getting into Dave Grisman's discography. The mandolin player.
Okay.
So some cool like jazz and bluegrass put together. But yeah, I mean we're all always listening to different things. And
I'm big into like Wu-Tang too, so it can just vary.
Hey, James Brown too.
Oh, I love James Brown.
Come on,
love James Brown.
Throw a little Clyde in there for him.
Actually, that Hunter's Moon song I brought up again was kind of trying to
be
a little more funkier for us. We're not trying to be a funk group, but
right, exactly. But add a little bit of stank to it. Yeah, a little stank to the dark satellite.
He adds that.
He adds that for sure. He's got a little stank.
James Brown, though. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, he's the man. I could talk about James Brown for hours, but let's talk. I got a few more questions here. Let's start off with maybe what is the most spectacular live performance you've ever seen? Like, what's the best concert you've ever been to? We'll go ahead and start right here. You got it easy.
Herbie Hancock.
Ooh,
in Milwaukee.
when and
I'm
where
from
was
Wisconsin. So
okay.
Oh, this was when I was 17, maybe. And my buddy was interning at the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee, and then they let us just sit in the aisle. And again, I love jazz drummers, so Jack DeJohnette was playing, and it was just a trio, and it was just amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all you
Coolest
need.
show I've ever seen. It's totally weird. You don't clap at those type of shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, you want to clap after a solo, and you're like,
just let them have it. Give them the space. They control the space right now. They're air traffic control. Yeah. That's a great show right there. I think that's an awesome choice.
I gotta say, my very first concert, it was Rolling Stones.
Oh, what a great first show.
2005. So I was 13. It was the one that Metallica opened for them.
What a fucking lineup. That's crazy.
At AT&T Park, my dad took me. But what I thought was cool was
with Everclear, he said.
Oh yeah,
apparently
he knew.
The voice of George upstairs.
Right.
He's familiar with the gig.
Wizard of Oz. That's who he is.
I like Everclear though. Good.
Yeah, I know. Hey, shout out Everclear. Come on the show. We'd love to have you.
But no, it wasn't Keith Richards. It was Mick Jagger. He played guitar and then he threw his guitar in the audience, and hella people got pissed off. and then they were doing like close-ups of the people that were pissed off. And I'm 13. I was like, damn, I gotta start coming to concerts more often.
Oh my God.
Right? Like they throw guitars in the crowd.
I had no clue they were that punk.
Yeah, that's rock and roll right there.
It was 2005.
So how old was Rolling Stones then? They're still rocking.
Dude, they're always nice.
They just got their AARP memberships in the mail, I think, at that point, maybe. Maybe even a couple years before that. But what about you? Who'd you say is the best show you've ever seen?
Well, it's a tough one. Definitely seen some good performances, but probably Chick Corea. That was actually, I think it was the last tour with the Electric Band. So Dave Weckl on drums.
Dave Weckl, yeah.
Frank Gambale, John Patitucci on bass. It was at a small venue in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
So it's like we were like really close. I mean, ended up getting a seat right by. I could just see his hands the whole time, just between Rhodes and piano and.
The full Hollywood experience. Like we were in downtown LA watching Herbie play in or Chick Corea play at the smallest club possible. Like that's about as intimate as it gets.
Yeah. There were like celebrities there too, and it's like, how did we score this? Like, how did we get to the ticket link soon enough to actually get tickets?
That's kind of like, then you start bossing the celebrities around, like, hey, listen, Johnny Depp, you mind moving your goddamn elbow? It's on my table here, pal. Okay, I paid for my table. I paid for the whole table, not 99% of it. Get your ascot out of my face. That being said,
what about you?
What about me? What's the best show I've ever seen?
Ooh.
Oh, shucks. They're asking me a question. No, I feel like I've said this ad nauseum on the show, but I will happily keep talking. It was Outside Lands one year. I went to, I want to say 2011 or no, it must have been 2012, something like that. It was the year where Muse was headlining. I got to see, and I grew up listening to Absolution, and, Black Hole's Revelations. Those two were like my favorite albums growing up. And then the Black Keys were opening for them, and that was the band outside of the White Stripes that really got me into playing guitar and like thinking simple and heavy and aggressive riffs can be the way for me. And then the Arctic Monkeys opened for them, who I didn't really know too much at the time. So I'm sitting in the crowd.
Show,
but the caveat was the worst show the worst band I've ever seen was the opening band for that entire bill, which was OK Go. The band from the treadmills. They didn't have the treadmills. And which is fine. I get it. It's a big festival. A lot of things to move around. But then they played a song using just bells. And it was like 5 minutes. And the whole crowd was just like, like collective sigh. OK Go, Arctic Monkeys, opening for the Black Keys, opening for Muse. That was the greatest show.
I don't know why that
ever
kind of
seen.
pissed me off.
He's like, I like OK Go. There's nothing wrong with it.
I almost wore that shirt tonight.
And it's the one of the bells too.
No, that's the shirt that has the bells on it. No, it was just it was the opening band and everyone was like, yeah, and they came out and then just the rest of their set was a little map.
You would be waiting for the treadmills though, for sure.
No,
I would be there probably thinking the same.
I was thinking, you're going to do something cool, like you're known for your gimmicks, and they just were like a normal band, and I was like,
they should have just ran in place.
Something. They literally could have done anything. They could have played the music video on the screen behind them, and it would have been a better. I don't know.
Smart music video though. That was
my blood's getting hot. My doctor said not to let my blood get hot like this.
I'm really sorry I asked you that question.
No, it's okay. I take medication, and if not, that's why we drink. No, I'm just kidding. There's kids don't drink. It's bad for you. That being said, I think I have one last question for you, and we're going to get you back on stage, which is, where would you like to see your band in 5 years' time? What's on the horizon next for the boys of Dark Satellite? Outside of continuing the rock and roll legacy that you're starting to build day by day.
Just keep on writing, keep on creating, and keep on touring. I mean, we've made it this far, so like we all kind of revolved our life around this band. So it's not like a job is going to get in the way of that.
No.
Yeah.
Make the time.
It's like maybe in 5 years. It'd be great if we were doing just this to make a living. So that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's everyone's dream, though.
Right, ideally. But I think with the right ambition, the right attitude, and just honestly the right lineup of people, like that's really where it starts. And as long as you have a good core going into the musical endeavors that you guys seem to obviously have with one another, I think y'all are going to be just fine in this musical scene.
We're even earlier today, we have 3 different tours lined up for this year.
That's incredible. And you have some shows coming up in December as well. If you guys want to do a quick plug, I believe you guys are doing, is it Cafe Colonial on December 12th out in Sacramento?
Yes.
Who are you playing? Do you guys know who you're playing with on that one?
We're playing with a band called Adalemon.
Okay, that's who you mentioned.
A couple other local bands in that area.
Nice. Okay, if you're in the Sac area, or if you just want to make the trip, it's a really nice drive. Actually, it's not that bad. If you get out there, have a nice day in Sac, come back. Yeah. Cafe Colonial is great.
I do it all the time.
Hey, live your life. Go drive places.
Exactly.
It's not that hard.
Experience it.
Come on.
And then there's a show the following night.
Next day in San Francisco at the Knockout with our buds, Kuva Bimo and Mars Occult.
Nice. That's going to be a nice little reunion show, I feel like. I love seeing you guys on the same bill together. Like I said, I saw your guys' name pop up on about every other bill that I shared for a while before I was able to meet you guys. I was like, you guys are... I got to get him on the show, and I'm very happy I did. You guys are absolutely incredible. We got a couple more songs coming up from the fine gentleman here, but any final plugs, any hi moms, anything like that you'd like to say before we get you back on the stage?
Hello, Wisconsin.
There you go. Shout out.
My mom is really watching.
I cannot beat that. That's great.
The whole state of Wisconsin.
Yeah. The whole state of Wisconsin.
Hey, Wisconsin, we're coming back.
There you go.
July-ish.
Ooh.
We're figuring it out.
East Coast, they're heading your way this summer, it sounds like. All right, everybody, keep it locked right here. We're going to take one final commercial break, and we're going to cut back, and we're going to have a couple more songs from the fine folks at Dark Satellite. Thank you again. I really appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you.
Round of applause for you. Y'all are impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Back to you in just a few.
This is about books. In a house made of houses, in a suck hole town, there's a haunted vagina, makes a mysterious sound. I see a light at the end, follow this tunnel down. We walk a barren land of teeth and hairy mounds. Every time I see your face, my head explodes. Your ex Libris is a rose. Mutant sex monsters, rise up and take over. In our darkest hour, grow your power flower. Mutant sex monsters, rise. A ring of revulsion greets the changing of the snail. So sings the serpent, blowing notes upon its tail. Your ocean rolling eyes fly new silver skies. Out of the weird and the worst, give birth to the earth. Every time I see your face, my head explodes. Your ex Libris is a rose. Mutant sex monsters, rise up and take over. In our darkest hour, grow your power flower. Mutant sex monsters, rise and take over.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Complex here in beautiful downtown San Francisco. I am your pal, Steve Ward Moore, and this is What's Poppin', the Bay Area's arts and entertainment talk show. Each episode features hilarious and insightful interviews with local Bay Area celebrities. Also, the people behind the scenes of the coolest venues and events happening in the Bay Area. We have a brand new house band that comes in to perform live for us right here and for you at home on your devices. Join us every other Monday, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf. Be a part of the revolution, be a part of the family, and you never know who's gonna stop by the studio over here.
Okay, Horde guitars, what they got? They got pickups, and they got these pickups. They got more pickups. Ooh, look at this pickup. Ooh, and they got this pickup, and then that pickup. Ooh, there's so many pickups. Oh, more pickups.
Talk Schmitty to me. So I heard that on the side of the stage. I had to get it out. Welcome back to the program, everybody. As you know, we just had the one and only Dark Satellite on the world famous Complex interview couch. Had a great time. They were just saying how much fun that was and how it didn't even really feel like an interview. We were just a couple of dudes having some chats about some stuff. Living life to our fullest, baby. That's what it's all about. And speaking of living life to our fullest, before we get right back to this performance, I got one more little round of shows. I got a couple shows coming up for you starting on Tuesday, November 25th, out here at the Fox Theater. Legendary, undeniably talented, one of the best to ever do it. The Mars Volta are coming to Oakland, everybody, with Kiana Medina and Felice Idada. It's about $80 for a ticket, I believe, which sounds about right. I know, but hear me out. It's the Mars fucking Volta. Give them some love. They deserve it. Doors are at 7 p.m. Show is at 8 p.m. Friday, November 28th, we are going to the UC Theater out in Berkeley to watch the one and only California Honey Drops. Lindsay Lou and Jimmy James, they're going to be taking over both nights at the UC Theater out in Berkeley. It's going to be $35 in advance or $92 if you would like seats, with the doors at 7 p.m. and the show at 8 p.m. And that's going to be for both Friday and Saturday. They are doing 2 back-to-back shows at the UC Theater, so check them out Friday, November 28th, or Saturday, November 29th. That being said, check out all that stuff I just talked about, but enough yapping. Let's get back to the toe tapping. Right here, the one and only Dark Satellite on Talkin' Schmidt live at the Complex.
Thank you, everyone. We have one more. This one's called 1,000 Sunny Days.
Hustlers and with eternity. One life as to ever, burning with uncertainty. From dawn to forever, taking lights in the waiting room. No time, past to present, one vision to consume.
Thank you, everyone. We are Dark Satellite. Come check us out. See you around.
Wow. I sure feel rocked the fuck out. I hope you folks do at home as well. That was absolutely fucking incredible. Thank you so much to the one and only Dark Satellite for coming on the show. I'm speechless. That was fucking awesome, guys. That was really, really, really awesome. Thank you so much for joining us here. Make sure you follow them at Dark Satellite Band if you want to stay up to date. Make sure you check them out in Sacramento on December 12th at Cafe Colonial. And then right here in the city the day after at the Knockout. Say what's up to Kuva Bimo and these fine gentlemen here for me. That's it. It's another episode. We got one more friggin' episode before the end of the year, and we take a little bit of a break. We will be off for all of January and maybe a week or two in February, but fear not, we'll be coming back full force at the beginning of next year after the holiday season's over. You know, we all need some time to regroup, recharge, book some bands, make the show possible, things like that. So stick with us. But the very next episode, the final episode of the year, our holiday spectacular, so to speak, is going to be with the one and only Candy Whips right here, Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. So we got a little bit of time before now in the show. We want you guys to have a happy holiday season. I hope you guys are getting ready for all that good stuff. Again, follow Dark Satellite Band, follow at Talking Schmidt Live, follow at The Complex SF for all good things going on with me and with The Complex and all the fine people associated with them. Make sure you keep following us right here on Twitch. And if you can, subscribe, gift a subscription to someone you love who likes local music or just likes live music. It's a great, easy holiday gift, and it goes a long way. So if you guys are interested, it's $6 a month to subscribe to the Twitch channel. Please and thank you. As always, check out my radio program on Ozcat Radio every Monday at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., where we play nothing but locals only for the first hour of the program. Nothing but Bay Area music for you guys to dive into and digest. But until then, that's it. Have a great rest of the month. We'll see you all on December 17th for Candy Whips. We love you, Dark Satellite. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Axis at Sundown and everyone mentioned today. We love you all. We love everybody here. It's a love situation. I had to say it 3 times to make sure it counts. But until next time, have a great one. As always, keep it locked right here to the Complex SF. Now I hit the outro button, right? It's the same one as always, right?
Oh yeah.
It's never going to change, is it? No. Okay, I'll copy that. Bye, everybody.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Complex here in beautiful downtown San Francisco. I am your pal, Steve Ward Moore, and this is What's Poppin', the Bay Area's arts and entertainment talk show. Each episode features hilarious and insightful interviews with local Bay Area celebrities. Also, the people behind the scenes of the coolest venues and events happening in the Bay Area. We have a brand new house band that comes in to perform live for us right here and for you at home on your devices. Join us every other Monday, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf. Be a part of the revolution, be a part of the family, and you never know who's gonna stop by the studio over here.